Hey everyone, I'm just doing a quick tutorial on enumerations or enums in C++ in UE4. I kind of wanted them to work like they were in blueprints when I started doing stuff in C++, so just wanted to kind of quickly go through how to set them up. So I'll load up the engine. This is just a fresh template, so there's nothing here to start with. So this is just the third person template. Now I'm just going to create a new file, so just under C++ classes, and base it off none. I'm just going to call this weapon data or something. It's weapons. And just wait for that to load. Alright. So we don't need the default construct and destruct or anything like that. I don't actually need any of that. One thing we will need up here is just the generated file, so include weapons.generated.h. And then so our syntax for the enum is just UENUM, and then we want to be integrate with blueprint, so it's going to go BlueprintType. New weapons. And then essentially we just name our various values, so we'll just have kind of wep underscore pistol. And then this is handy if you want it to show up nicely in Blueprint. So I'm going to say DisplayName equals pistol, so just without kind of the underscore, the wep underscore. Shotgun. And just do one more. So that's pretty much it. That's setting up the enum how it needs to be set up. So then if we shut that and rebuild, just to make sure that's all happy. Yep. So I'll fire up the engine. And now when we get into it, we'll kind of load up the player's blueprint to have a look in there, but we won't be able to see it in there because we haven't actually added it to the player's base class. So within the blueprint, if I just open the editor, if I try and go on, switch on weapons, okay, it'll show up. So I did find it. I think that's just because I rebuilt. It is cleaner, or I tend to just make sure that I go to the base class, so in this case the character, and actually include that file, so include weapons.h. It just feels neater that way, but I guess the editor is actually just picking it up regardless. And so that's that. So you should be able to use that pretty much however now. So if you've got, pick up weapon, you can make that the input type, and kind of do all that stuff like normal. Now the only other thing that I will quickly show is some handy stuff. So I really liked, you get like, what is it, max entries, get number of entries in, that's the one. So number of entries in e-weapons. For a little while I couldn't figure out how to get that in C++. So I kind of manually went through and added, kind of like you would usually, just on the end, like a wep max, and then just return that myself. But you do actually have kind of a shorthand way of doing that in UE4. So just grab, for example, player, and we'll just quickly, so that we can kind of print it out, just add the begin play. So let's quickly set up the begin play function. So here, if we go, so it's const UENUM is the type, so it essentially makes it a class. Call this our enum. So it's find object of type UENUM looking in any package. And now here's where you put in the name. So in our case, it was what, weapon or weapons, whatever this is, weapons. Just make sure I get that exactly right. True. And now that will fetch as kind of a UENUM type our enum, and we can do stuff with that. So now if you go kind of our enum get max enum value, that'll actually, I think, restores a UENT. Yep. So number of weapons. So we can do that, and that will actually return the number of weapons in the thing. So I'll just quickly show that working. So that's just getting that as a string, so I can add it here. So hopefully now on begin play that'll print out. Actually, sorry, I've just seen that G-engine. That's just because it's a brand new project and this has engine minimal. So if we take that out and just include the engine instead, that'll give us access to G-engine, which is what we want. So let's close that, build it. For us, there's no compile errors here, but yeah, this method of fetching the enum, and you can do various different things. So you can, as well as get max enum value, you can get like enum name, so you can kind of request the name of a specific thing, and kind of other various functionality they've put. Obviously, there's a list of whatever you can do in UENUM. You can just look up the class and see what various tools you have there. I generally just use the max enum value though. That's really handy. So this is just building. It's taking a while because we've included the full engine now. There we are. So just run it. So now on begin play, that should print. The number of weapons is 3, I'd expect. So yep, the number of weapons in enum is 3. So that fetches that value correctly, and that's all nice. Yeah, that's everything. So hopefully that was helpful. I'll put some of the code in the description of the video just so you can copy paste it. And hopefully that was helpful.